Time to fix another drifting JoyCon. Hi, welcome back to the shed. It's a bank holiday Monday here in the UK and I've got a whole load of jobs in my shed that I've been meaning to get round to, starting with this one here, the Nintendo Switch JoyCon. These are notorious for getting drift on the thumbsticks, which means that it will automatically start moving to the left or up or down when you're not even touching the controller, which can drive you mad going through menu screens or trying to play games. So we're going to fix that by replacing the thumbstick. Now, I've done this before with the Nintendo JoyCon, but that was with the left one and the right ones are slightly different. So I thought, well, I've got one to fix, may as well do a video. So let's see how we get on. Right, so here's the JoyCon, and really all we need to do is take it apart, get this out, and it's actually quite sort of scratched up on the surface anyway, so it'll be nice to have a new one in there. We'll take that out, replace it with a new one, and hopefully that will work. So we need to open it up. So I've ordered a kit similar to the one I got last time from Amazon. So this is the kit. I was looking at buying just replacement thumbsticks, but for the price, buying just some replacement sticks and the price of the kit, for the extra couple of quid, I think it was, to get the extra tools, it was worth it to have these as backup. These screwdrivers in particular I've got on really well with. I'm really liking using those, so it's nice to get some spares. So it comes with a crosshead one and the tri-wing one. So I sometimes get people asking about good tri-wing screwdrivers. These with the kind of yellow top and the red handle, they're really good ones. Last time I got quite a few, they lasted really well, so yeah, I'm more than happy to add these to my little collection. Comes with a little brush, tools for opening up, like this one here, nice new pair of tweezers, a little suction cup, little metal bits in as well. I can't remember what they're for, but I'm sure I'll find out, and some spare screws and things like that. So to fit this thumbstick, we need to open up this unit. There are 4 small tri-wing screws on the back. Now the heads on these screws strip really easily, so make sure you've got the screwdriver located really securely with a good bit of pressure on there before you start to unscrew, because otherwise if you strip the head of the screw, it's a nightmare to get it out, and that's where a lot of people will struggle. Right, so that's all 4 screws removed. Now if you look at the bottom here, this kind of infrared unit is what's different to the other ones. I need to get into the gaps to pop it open, like this tool. And you don't want to actually break it, of course, but there's a bit where it's just sort of, there we go, and it'll just pop apart. And then it should just lift out, and if it doesn't lift, then you're doing something wrong, so don't force it. As you separate, be very careful, because there's a couple of ribbons connecting the 2 parts there. There's a few ways that you can go about doing this. Now these ribbons are going to end up being possibly removed, but you can keep it together for the moment. The bit we want to get to is underneath the battery compartment, because that's where the thumbstick's about here. Now the battery will lift out, but it'll feel like it doesn't want to because it's stuck down with an adhesive. It's not massively strong adhesive, you just need to be patient with it. So I'll put this tool in, just lift it out. That popped out, no problem. There was just a tiny little bit of adhesive at the end there. And the battery can disconnect. There's like a little bit there for that wire to go, but at the moment, I'll just move it around. So I've got some screws on the inside, and they are crosshead screws, so we need to remove this little frame here. Got one there, one here, and this has got like a little wire reaching around to this bit here. So if I lift that out and just pop it out of the way, that will then allow me to lift out the tray. Now with the tray up, just check I'm not damaging anything. There is a little ribbon connected to the shoulder button here that I don't want to damage, but if you just rotate that a bit, it should be out of the way enough that we can get to the thumbstick. So what I'm trying to do is undo as little as possible here while I'm doing it. Now the thumbstick's just got 2 screws and this little ribbon. So if you look at the one that I've got in the bag, see how it's just got that one little ribbon there that goes in here. So we'll pop that to one side for now. That has a little flap that lifts up. So again, if I use this, which has got like a little hooked end on it, I'll be able to just reach in and it just flicks up, and that releases the, there we go, that'll release the ribbon when I undo the screws. So I can take those 2 out, just check I've got my crosshead screwdriver. Carefully pull that through. Now this is where you've got like a little membrane which will pull away slightly, but the thumbstick kind of passes through it. So that will now come out. Pull my ribbon cable out. The membrane is still in place. Get my new thumbstick, and first thing to do with that, I can just carefully lift that out of the way, is to get my ribbon cable in place. So that's going to be kind of the fiddly part of the job. There's a little gold line on the PCB to let you know when you've sort of pushed it far in enough. That's okay. I'll push that bit back down, and that should hold the ribbon in place. Now, where that membrane is, I need to carefully push the thumbstick through. The reason I'm not lifting all this up to show you is because the more I move it around, the more of an issue I'm likely to have in terms of knocking these ribbons and bits and pieces like that. So normally I know I would lift things up and show you at the camera a little bit more, but with this we're working in a very confined space, and the priority for me is getting everything in the right spot. So now I've got to get the screws in so that my thumbstick's in the right place. Just make sure it sits down properly and locates. I am not 100% sure if the ribbon has properly located, because there's a bit of a kink to it there. It does seem to be up to the right line, so I'll assume I've got it right, and we'll put everything else back in place, and if it doesn't work, then that's going to be the first thing I check out. So that's now screwed in. I'll swing this around here, just check I'm not pinching or catching anything. Lift up that grey wire that went in and around, so that just locates back into there's like a little channel, little groove for it there, and then it slots in here. It's probably going to be easier to do when you've got the screws in, really, but still, that's in there. And I've got the little screws to locate, which I had stuck to my hand, and now they've dropped on the floor. How convenient. Get our battery located. Bring our other pieces round, make sure they all slot together correctly. So the black bit kind of locates into the other side of the frame, slots into a little groove, and then if everything feels like it's in about the right place, you're ready to just pinch, and that'll nip back together. And then I've got my little black screws to go back in, which are with the tri-wing screwdriver, which doesn't appear to be magnetic. Now that might be the screws, or it could be the screwdriver, but either way, I'll locate it in place. Carefully screw those back in, remembering that they strip really easily, so I'll just keep plenty of pressure on, and I won't over tighten. Over tightening is just asking for trouble. You might think you're getting it all nice and snug, whereas really you're just ruining the screw and probably the plastic that you're screwing into as well. See where they're separating a bit? Just pinch it together, keep the pressure on the screwdriver, and as soon as there's even the tiniest bit of resistance, if it stops you from turning, that's when you stop screwing in. And on that bit there too. And there we go, all back together, and we've got a nice brand new thumbstick in there. I'm just going to give that a bit of a test, but hopefully all will be well. And if we compare it to the old one, it's much better shape there, so it makes the whole Joy-Con look like new, which is good stuff. Right, so I've got my switch, and it reminds me that I've still got the footage from when I fitted these awesome metal shells onto my Joy-Cons, and I've not edited it all together into a video yet. If you'd like to see me doing that, this is the Boxy Pixel aluminium kit. Then I'll get round to doing that, and we'll have another video to have a look at this. But for now, we're looking at the settings to check the drift has gone away. So I'll remove that one and I'll add on the yellow attachment there. We've got the click and it says paired. I love how the little graphic comes up with the right colour. There is something in here so I can check on there to get the calibration right. Calibrate control sticks. Press the control stick you wish to calibrate. Please check the following. There should be a plus shown instead of a circle when not moving the control stick. The circle colour changes. Like, you can move it like that, but there's not the little cross, so we'll press X to recalibrate it. I mean, the fact that it's not moving around bodes very, very well, so we should be fine. But if we go on X to recalibrate, please only recalibrate if there's something wrong. Okay, so we'll calibrate that, and you push the stick towards that direction and release it once it changes colour. So we'll go there and release, and down and release, to left, release, up, release, rotate it, and we just keep rotating. Calibration complete. Okay, now we've got the little cross. Move down, we can move up, right, left, nothing moving, no drift, all sorted. So there we go. So there we are, all sorted and working, and it looks much nicer too with the nice new thumbstick. These are like really, really cheap to buy. It's just a few pounds for the actual thumbstick. I'll put a link to the kit that I bought in the description. I got that from Amazon. It's fairly easy to find, but the thumbsticks themselves, they're all pretty much the same, and they're quite easy to install. So yeah, I've done a few of these now, and first time I was very cautious. There's lots of tiny little bits in there, and now that I've done a few and I know where I'm going, I think there's a number of ways to do it, and rather than dismantle the thing completely, I think if you're very, very careful of the ribbons, if you just carefully move things out of the way and work within that, it's much, much easier to put back together. The things I've found difficult when I'm doing these is removing and reattaching the ribbons. Don't force anything, don't over tighten anything, and be patient, and it's quite an easy job. So just take your time. If you haven't got the right tools, I recommend buying a kit like the one I did. That contained absolutely everything I needed, from the right screwdrivers, good quality screwdrivers too, and the little tool to pop it open, the tweezers for the ribbon. I had everything I needed. So if you're not kitted out, I mean, I've got so many tools. I like getting new tools, so I can't resist a kit like that. But if you haven't got the right tools, something like that kit is perfect. And you know, these JoyCons, they're really expensive when you look at replacing them. I think, is it like 60, 70 pounds for a pair? So for the sake of a few pounds to just replace that little bit and get it back to working condition, it's well worth a go. So yeah, that's it, and I hope it's been useful. Give it a try. Let me know how you get on in the comments. Give it a like if you find it useful, and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of stuff. I'll see you for the next video. Thank you. Bye.